Well, I've been farming all my life. My father farmed down in Ackworth and Badsworth with 2 farms there. This is from before the war anyway. And I've known nothing else but farming. And then in 1981 we moved up here and started farming on our own. My wife and myself and the family. We decided to turn organic in about 1983. We started converting over. We were just doing it for his own peace of mind, really. We can usually cope with about 6 litres a year, but we don't want any more than that. You know, it's not with industry as it is. We just can't move them. Not many people want them with the colour of them, because with being this sort of colour, people only want white pigs. They don't want any with any colouring on. It's in the rind. When they turn to meat, you can see the black cast in them, and it doesn't look very nice. People don't want it like that. But it's a lot nicer meat. We're being, well, more of a traditional breed, and as well as eating, well, a variety of different things, it just makes meat a lot different flavour. I mean, these only have sort of corn maybe once a week, twice a week, if we pushed. Rest of the time they're eating vegetable waste. I mean, we're only keeping these for pets just because I've always had pigs and can't really do without them. I'll have to show it in Upton Arms now, you're on, Kev.
We're that busy with that green gathering as well that we're getting behind with his normal weekly work, like, you know, so.
We'll change it and make it into what we need, what we want. So they can see the permaculture, so they can see, have a garden. It doesn't have to be straight lines, it doesn't have to be rows of flower beds. Yeah, they're nice, but you can twiggle them round. Some people, they spend more time organising their garden and don't spend enough time enjoying their garden. They make hard work out of gardening. It's some of the work ethic that we've been fed over the last 200 years that, you have to do a thing all year round and do one thing, and we're not seasonal. You do different things at different times. We've lost track of the seasons. We've lost track of the cycle of work. The cycle of work. Yeah. Nothing wrong with hard work as long as you're not doing it all the time.
But hopefully we'll see if we can drive in now without being stopped.
What's it like being stopped going on your own land?
Well, they haven't stopped me yet, but they're no fans because we're in here 10 times a day. And we've all got passes, so we shouldn't be having any abuse. Morning, Thomas! Lovely morning. We've got a all over pass. We're the farmers, we've delivering veg.
All right.
Right. Oh, that went on. Better than we expected. Better than the first outvan came in this morning.
Well, it's green living. I think that's definitely good. No generators on site, stuff like that. But people are still having a good time. There's loads of music, loads of things going on. I think it's nice that lots of people like that can come together and share ideas and stuff. You learn quite a lot from it as well, see what other people are doing. And it makes you feel better because when you're in normal society, you can get quite depressed with trying to make things better. It's nice to come and meet other people doing it and realise that it's not just you on your own, sort of thing. It's a fluffy festival. I think that's how I sum it up.
That's what brought to now. Is that any good?
That's brilliant, yeah. That's really cool.
I mean, we can bring other stuff, but I just didn't know what else you wanted.
No, that's fine. Everything's been selling really well.
It's really good for you.
I've lost 4 stone now.
You look so much slimmer.
Garlic, lettuce, lemons, and cucumbers. I've only brought you half amount of cucumbers. We've got them. I didn't think it was. Well, we met 2 or 3 of the organisers in Leeds when we were doing our vegetable deliveries, and they were telling us they were thinking of a green gathering and looking for a site in Yorkshire. And I thought an organic farm would be the ideal sort of position for a green gathering, and we just thought it'd be very nice to have it round Ackworth, seeing as we don't have a great deal of, well, anything as different as this.
We were looking for a site a couple of years ago, and somebody thought of contacting the Soil Association to see if there were any organic farmers who might be interested, and they contacted John, and he was really enthusiastic. We came and had a look, and it was ideal really, and John was really enthusiastic about it. So it seems an obvious site, and it's a convenient location for us as well.
Just making these little discs so we can hang it around the site. There's a few over there. But yeah, just to generally brighten up the place a little bit.
Oh, it was on the edge of town, where the fields were green and bright. They built a great big supermarket, and it looked like a pile of shite. You have to go there in your car, 'cause it's so far away from town, and you haven't any choices, 'cause all the other shops shut down. The staff are miserable as sin. The food irradiated plastic, and they lock up all their bins, and the expense is quite fantastic. It's good to go with empty pockets, it's good to go with fingers light, it's good to swipe those special offers, 'cause major profit making shite.
I hope that the locals who walk their dogs will come and sort of walk, because the public bridleway is just there. I hope they'll come and then come into the garden, look at the plants, eat them if they wish. Just enjoy being here, use the space, come and sit in the shade. Here in Ackworth, we went to the pub the other night, and this woman came over. She had a little girl and I had my dog, so the little girl started playing with the dog, and then she came over to talk, and she was asking about, how do you live and stuff like that, and just chatted with her, and she was like, that's it, I'm going to buy a caravan, I'm moving out of my house and all this. So there is that divide, and down south you feel it a lot stronger than up here. People up here tend to be a lot more open to people being different.
Right, that's what I really like about here. It's the fact that it is completely and utterly cheap. You go and buy some food and it costs you $1.30 for a burger with loads of stuff on it and salads and everything, and it's brilliant. You go to Glastonbury and stuff, that's the same thing, it costs you £3-4.
It's a charity, is the Northern Green Gathering anyway. So really the only thing we want to do is make sure we do cover its costs. I mean, we're not out to make a lot out of the job, it's just we need something for all this extra stress. But I suppose at the end of the day, as long as everybody has fun and with no damage and no problems, I think that is more important than making anything out of it. Well, I think it's a good thing. I think it's an eye-opener for ourselves, which I'd never seen anything like this. I've never been to a music festival or any other festival in my life till we started this 3 years ago. But it's quite an eye-opener, and I was really surprised at the people, the cross-section of people that's here, and how nice they are. Once we meet the people and actually get to know the names and we don't have much time to sit and talk to them, but talk to them as we're passing them. There's another one here. Every time we move we have to stop to talk. Oh, it's on the day. Are we winning? Well, it'll take me a bloody hour while I'm performing here. Right, Righto, ta-da. Right, he's got it out anyway.
All right.
So
What do you
we're
want then? Do
a
you
step
want
near. There's just somebody with a saw.
Yeah, all right. Well, I can sort you out.
I'm not ready yet.
All right.
I've got to go cut veg first. Because they're waiting to pack it in the yard.
Yeah, well, when you're ready.
Right.
If you get.
Well, I can pole it out back here because it took us half an hour to wind us way through here.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can pole it out back.
Yeah.
I'm well chuffed with it.
I should think, yeah. It's super, your house, isn't it?
The roundy bit, it all like concertinas in and then just sort of folds up in itself. So it's, you know, it's about 6 foot long and about that thick. I mean, it's all you can pick up, and all the struts you can pick up under one arm.
All that you can see here is pine, tongue and groove, but inside we've got, well, the ledges here. Can't really see very well, but all this here, and inside that's elm. That's like quite heavy wood. Well, Alex is the one who built most of it. I mean, I put the sheet on, then did a bit of the tongue and groove and a bit of the window. So, I mean, Alex was the one, he built the structure and decided what sort of shape bow he wanted. And then they used, you know, the bows are put round, and then the tongue and groove sort of all holds it in place as well. I mean, you've got to think light, really. That's quite heavy. Generally, it's positive, you know, when we're actually moving. I mean, you have a lot of smiles and waves out of cars, and that's really nice. It's like, eee! And sometimes you get the odd car driver that's like, and just drives, but I mean, they're gone, they don't stick around.
It's a lifestyle, it's not a living. People here aren't making a living, they're living a lifestyle. It's a cooperation, everybody's here to enjoy themselves. Yeah, they're here to do things and make things and have fun and get everything up, but yeah, it's here to be enjoyed. Nobody's making we don't get executive stress on this one. You don't get executive stress on the festivals, yeah, if you're doing them properly. Yeah. Copper, yeah, I got into it because it's free. You can get it out of skips, you can find it walking down the road, and with just a few tools you can make a variety of things from it. There's only a certain number of shapes you can make with it anyway. It only goes a certain number of ways. And a lot of them, yeah, the Celts, the Vikings did them before, yeah. For the odd bits I need, I can sell the jewellery for cash.
Right, okay, so what thing one is the same in complete, the same community. If you say it's okay to say on a return basis, we'll suddenly bring this lot, and then we'll see what we would need.
It's all quite environmental. Sort of, I have been accused of being an environmental fascist, but that's people with no sense of fear.
We're providing a sort of a whole load of power services, I suppose, for the site. We're running the lighting and some of the sound amplification in the main stage here for the main music marquee. We're providing an electrical supply to the cafe next door, who are using it to run a blender and a juicing machine. We're providing battery charging. We're charging up batteries for a number of other people on the site who are using 12-volt batteries to run music and lighting and things like that. This is a setup which produces mains electricity from low voltage, from 12 volts DC. This is an inverter, which is a machine that converts one to the other. And that will convert up to 1.5 kilowatts, or produce up to 1.5 kilowatts of mains electricity from 12 volts DC, and that's mains we can then use to power up any standard household appliance up to that power level, which means we can run TVs, videos, stereo, lights.
There is a lot of windmills as well, and solar panels. Yeah, they give the power, electricity. See? And I've just recharged these batteries off a windmill. And some solar panels. And some pedal power. Ew, right.
everything's like natural. It's not all like plastic and everything. And there's loads of different stuff to do. I mean, I was like, oh, it's all spaced out, there's not much. And when I went down to the far end, there was like loads. It's not like at midnight you all have to go to sleep. You just go when you're ready. You just like it goes on till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then in the morning when all the sleepy people get up, it's really quiet.
People have got to realise that, you know, we've all got a choice, you know, of what we do, and just because somebody decides to do one thing, it's not a bad thing. It just might not suit you. Do you know what I mean? It's about choice. I choose to live like this. I don't expect anybody else to do it. If they want to, yeah, you know, but it's a choice that I've made, and people have got to learn to respect that. You know, it comes through choice. I don't know how. Some people you can't convince. Some people are so set in their ways that they won't be convinced, you know, and you can't change their views.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy it, although my daughter was here. I mean, the first time I went to the big green gathering, she says, oh, you'll have to come to the green gathering, and I thought, well, a load of sort of beatniks, you know, looking at the sun and doing nothing. But I really went because I thought, oh, well, I might, you know, you only live once, you might as well give it a try. And then you just realise just how enjoyable it is.
And you were here,
But I'm not with her all the time. No. I mean, I hardly ever see her. She just disappears and reappears. I mean, I love listening to the music, which is there's such a variety of music. And I like there's healing centres, and you can go and get cups of chai. And chai. I love chai. And I just, it's you can't explain it. It's just an atmosphere, and there's so many things to do. It's the younger people who are going to look after the world, and I think these things were never around when I was young because the issues were different, but these are the big issues, and I think luckily there's loads and loads of kids and young people here, and these are the people who probably will in time be able to make impressions and change views of just the local politicians. And if you change views of local politicians, you change views of the country's attitude to all these things, and then the environment becomes an issue that you act upon, not just talk about.
I haven't done as much as I wanted to do this year of the work on it. I don't just want to be somebody who just lets them have the field. I want to sort of take part in helping. I don't feel as if if I just let them have the field, it won't feel in my mind that I've took part. So I just feel as if I want to get involved more. It's not just quite as easy as that, running a business.
Everything's running off, non-generator. It's all wind, solar. You wouldn't normally get that at a festival. You'd have some of it. You've got cafes that are based on not making profit. They're based on giving out information about protest camping, direct action. They're giving out information that people need to know about what the bigger picture is in Britain, what is happening in Britain, because the media isn't giving you it at the moment. It's an optimistic look at what people are capable of doing in the future. You know, in terms of renewables, in terms of learning information, in terms of sharing communal things, feeling support from other people, networking between groups that don't normally network. You know, there's lots of groups here that aren't normally together in the same framework, and they get a chance to speak. So it's a very positive step.
I read too many books and I get freaked out, and I thought, holy shit, the world's fucked, I better try and do something in my own little way. So I went to a Greenpeace meeting and kind of started from there. Got a bit bored with them.
Why did you get bored?
Because you couldn't go out on direct actions basically and have fun sort of things I saw them doing. I wanted to do. But I think that happens right throughout Britain. At the same time, they started giving other groups a wee bit more autonomy, and you know, the direct action movement that you see now, I think, sprang from that a wee bit.
But what's happening with genetics in most campaigns nowadays is that they're done by grassroots people. ordinary people in ordinary local areas doing local stuff on issues, and that's where it's springing from. It's not springing from a big charity or a big protest group. It's springing from right down at the roots.
A few years back, each time they had one of these meetings of the G8, a sort of worldwide umbrella of independent groups sort of blossomed out and started having street parties or protests, whatever, but at the same time aimed at the institutions that are involved in globalisation. So this happened this year on June the 18th. There was protests in over 30 countries, probably a lot more than that, several cities in many of those countries. And after it, within a few hours of most of those actually finishing, and you could just go on the internet and you can find what happened, like eyewitness reports of what actually happened. So you can sit there and you can read through what happened in Sydney, Brisbane, Mexico City, Guatemala, Berlin, Zurich, Glasgow, Birmingham, London, wherever.
The circle of people that know about what's happening in campaigns is getting larger and larger through the help of Greenpeace, and mostly grassroots stuff, people doing things. So Greenpeace has got a role in that to play in campaigning, but the role that they play, I think, is getting narrower and narrower, and the grassroots stuff's getting bigger and bigger. Therefore, that's why I'm quite positive about the future, because I think people are actually acting in what they believe in, rather than just thinking about it.
It's easy to take some kind of strength out of thinking. There's somebody on the other side of the world who's doing this at the moment as well for exactly the same reason.
We're actually part of a group called Green Heart in Scotland. We have a posse that comes with us and we just put an area on basically. This time we just got the swing boats with us. We have other rides as well. And we run a PA normally off the solar panels. And especially with alternative power, it's a good way to get people into the idea rather than just giving them a lecture on alternative power, which can be really boring, do you know what I mean? To actually see something for themselves, how it's working, and that music's being powered from that. It also gets suppressed by generating companies, nuclear fuels, and people like that. So I think over the years it's been held back so much because of people like that, because they're not going to get their money. Once people have got something installed, that's them set up, no bills, blah, blah, blah.
We give our thanks also to the God and Goddess who guard and watch over us.